Me. All right. So thank you guys for joining Connect Practice Recovery. It's a yoga support group for eating disorders. And we're really excited to have you here. The theme today is surviving the little moments and practicing self-compassion in everyday challenges. I'm Corey. I'm a facilitator for Eat, Breathe, Thrive, and I'm also the people and operations coordinator. And if you don't know a little bit about Eat, Breathe, Thrive, we are a nonprofit organization that aims to prevent and help individuals overcome eating disorders. And we provide skills and resources for mindful eating, emotional resilience, and positive embodiment. And I'm going to throw it over to Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I am the marketing and communications intern for ANID, and ANID is the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders. A little bit about us: ANID is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing free peer-based support for anyone affected by eating disorders. We have support groups, peer mentorships, helpline resources, and community education. We work to make recovery accessible for everyone, regardless of background, diagnosis, or ability to pay.
I love that. So, we are going to start soon. Just a little bit as everyone is joining, we have a few housekeeping guidelines. We ask that you please keep your mic off unless you're speaking. And when you want to speak, we'd love to hear from you. So, we're going to kind of go round and round and kind of ask questions and we'll put our 2 cents in. But this is also a community and a group conversation. So, if you want to add something, please feel free to just unmute yourself and add it. And then, or if you'd rather, you can add in the chat. So if you'd rather not come off mute, we'll look at those conversations as well. And then, yeah, just a reminder, you won't be on video. Obviously, if you come off mute, you will be, but your names won't be displayed. Um, cool. So, we're gonna do a quick check-in around the theme that we have. And I want to invite you guys to type in the answers in the chat, or if you'd like, you can come off mute for a quick share. And we want you to share your first name, your last initial, and your pronouns, which I just realized I didn't share mine. I go by she, her. And the question is the last time you practiced self-compassion in a challenging moment. So I maybe can share first, Caitlin, and then I'll throw it to you. And then as we're talking, you guys think and you can throw things in the chat. But I was just thinking, I'm practicing self-compassion right now because I've never actually hosted one of these before. And so I know my mind can get into that whole loop of doing something new, especially doing something in front of people. It's scary and I get really nervous. And so I had to practice a lot of self-compassion this morning and today and during, and just tell myself that it doesn't matter if I make a mistake or talk too fast or be super fun and weird. It just matters like to be here and show up with y'all.
That's awesome. I am also hosting for the first time, so we are doing this together. But I
Heck yeah.
think for me, I feel like I've been having a little bit of like body image issues lately. Within my own recovery, I've gained a significant amount of weight, and so just feeling bad about it, but then reminding myself that I am doing the hard work. I am recovering, and um, I've gained this weight because I'm being, I'm doing the good things for myself. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing. And so just kind of giving myself some self-compassion and giving myself the okay because I'm, like I said, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm doing the right things. And thank you. And I go by she, her. I forgot to mention that as well in mine. But we definitely want to open this up to you guys. If you have anything, like she said, you could put it in the comments or you can come off mute.
And share. I was typing it out, but it's just uh, too long. I'm Liz, she, her. And so I've been a bit sedentary recently, but for different reasons. But yesterday I finally went on this long walk in the park. And and really enjoyed that movement and like saying hi to everyone I passed by. And um I would even tear up sometimes, like after having like that little moment with the stranger. So no one witnessed it, but it was just I I decided to be proud of myself instead of like chastising past uh missed opportunity.
I think that's amazing, you know, being proud of yourself for one, for getting out there. And I think like what I really heard is just proud for just not making any emotions a bad thing, but just experiencing them and being there with them. And I'm really proud of you too, and I really appreciate you sharing.
Thank you. And it's sometimes it's those small things that it's it can seem so small, but it's so big for us. And I think that was really awesome and very touching that you shared that. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll share. I'm Susie. I'm in Tucson. Um, self-compassion. I think I didn't really think of this as a self-compassion thing, but so my husband's going to retire next year, and I asked him. He announced that he wanted to go on a cruise, and I said, "Well, that's great, but please don't make any plans for the end of next year because we don't have any like moving day. Our daughter might have a formal wedding. She's already gotten married, but she might have a big wedding. We don't know about that yet. There's just too many unknowns." I said, "Please don't schedule anything yet and let's talk about it." When he doesn't live in the US right now, he's living overseas. So when we see each other on the holidays. So he text messaged me or he emailed me like he booked a cruise. And I'm like, what the F you see? I'm like, what the heck? And I didn't even open the email. I just read the thing on the top. And then he sent me like all these references for it and everything. And when I talked to him that night, I said, you know what? I'm not going on the cruise. Please cancel the cruise or go find someone else to go with. And as I look back now, that was an act of self compassion because I knew what I needed. I knew I needed to not have that on my plate when I have to think about an international move, a big life transition. I mean, he's been working for 45 years of our marriage, 60 hours a week, and all of a sudden he has nothing. And so it's going to be a lot. And I just can't pile a 3 week trip on top of that. So I'm proud of myself for speaking up because he tends to just ignore what I said and do the thing anyway. And I've always put up with it, but I, I can't do that anymore. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That's, yeah, having those boundaries and being able to speak up for yourself definitely is self-compassion. So that was a
And I
probably a very
didn't
hard
like
move, but proud of you.
I didn't like yell. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't say anything mean. I just said it just how I said, please cancel the cruise or go on it by yourself. I'm not going. And that also, I think, made me feel better about myself and not feel bad.
I love that. Why don't we take Linda? I see your hands raised, and then once we do that, then maybe we'll like kind of go into some other questions. But yeah, Linda, what do you got?
I just wanted to respond to what Susie said. I was feeling a lot of compassion because I think for myself, and I think for many people with eating disorders, travel is stressful anyway. And to be out of your element on a cruise at the mercy of other people's cooking or food options is can be very stressful. And I think especially if it's not your decision or a mutual decision. So I'm just really proud of you, Susie. Good job.
I love that. I'll echo that. Cool. Well, Caitlin, do you want to ask our other, I guess it's not our first question, but we'll jump into the list of questions we have.
Yeah. Well, I did notice that almost everybody mentioned that it's been kind of a stressful week or stressful day. So I wanted to just real quick say good job for being here. Because that's hopefully this is going to help, and that's showing self-compassion right there for you guys showing up today. Um, Now we want to talk a little bit about some techniques that you can use to identify triggers. So I was going to ask Corey, what are some techniques that you can use to identify triggers? And then we'll open it up to the rest.
Heck yeah. I will say I like deep in the throes of my eating disorder, I wasn't really even able to recognize triggers. I don't even think that I knew that that's what was happening. I think I just would feel like I wanted to run away or like, everything was too much. I think like later on through like yoga and treatment, I started to learn that I just needed to slow down a little bit and notice like what was happening in my body. And that was a huge part of treatment for me is like really like going within and noticing. Like for me, it's like noticing my breath. I tend to hold it when I get angry or triggered, and slowing down enough to like, my face would flush, my heart would race, and like I said, I would want to run away. And I think that that just really helped me identify that I was being activated. And then from there, I had like a long list of coping skills that I, had to work on that I could go to instead of an eating disorder behavior. But we'd love to hear from y'all too. Or if Caitlin, you want to add anything?
Yeah. Does anybody have anything they wanted to add about some techniques that you can use in the future or things that you've used in the past that you found helpful for identifying triggers?
It's a tough one. I feel like I'm like almost better at knowing what to do when I have triggers now, but I hear you.
Yeah, I can feel it like in my body. I get hot.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I get like that kind of like it's almost like a fear response when I'm
Yes.
triggered. And I know it's like when I don't it's because I don't feel safe.
Yep.
And when a trigger would be like this puts me in a dangerous spot. And and that's where yoga for me has come in so amazing. I mean, my introduction through yoga for eating disorders and then Eat, Breathe, Thrive, I did the 4 week. I did it actually when it was at the very beginning
Oh,
during COVID.
cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And it has really, really helped. It's like, it's just like if I can just get to the mat in my mind, even if I can't do it physically, it really helps. So it's that heat, it's that like fear response in my body.
Hmm. I love what you said. If I can just get to my mat, even if it's in my mind. I love that. It's so gold. And
Yeah,
I hear other people do too, saying zooming out and not being so, honed in on the moment, like all of that. That's really cool.
that's good. Thank you.
The zooming out thing is something that I found in when I was in treatment that really helped me because I tend to get only here and panic about what's happening here. And I remember we did a like a breathing practice one time where, I was starting to panic. And then I realized when we zoomed out, I was like thinking, there's other people in this room, there's people in their offices, and nobody else is panicking. So, I'm safe. It's okay. And then start to calm down from there and realize like where I'm at is a safe environment and that there's a bigger picture, there's more going on. And I think also what you said about identifying, I very much relate to you, Corey, about not being able to identify, especially in the moments of it and in the thick of it. but that was another technique or things that I learned when I was in treatment because I hated feeling emotions and I hated feeling the feelings. And so being able to actually go through and feel, like you said, what is the sensations you're feeling? What are you feeling hot? Are you feeling cold? Or, where are you feeling it? And different things like that I felt were super helpful.
Yes, I love that. Awesome. It is really easy to get detail focused and worry about the tiniest things. I'm an expert at that. I get that. Cool. Well, I'm going to ask the next question. So planning ahead can help navigate life's challenges, and with the upcoming holiday season, we want to invite the all of you, and especially Caitlin first here, to take a few moments to reflect and write down triggering situations that you might encounter. Feel free to share them in the chat. I think the one thing is like just be mindful of any kind of like triggering like eating disorder behaviors, like specific, maybe don't name those, but just thinking of like, that meal you have to have with that certain aunt that always says one thing and whatever it is. But that's kind of where my mind goes. But Caitlin, do you want to kind of take this one?
Sure. I think for me, thankfully, well, not thankfully, there's goods and bad, but we don't live near our family, so we are not having Thanksgiving like with our family. So that's the thankfully part. I don't have, that aunt making comments or, all of the different family members that I only see once a year. I'll be with friends, which is good. It's all people that I feel like are supporting me in my recovery and people that I feel like I would be safe with, but just eating in front of people in general is always a huge trigger for me. And especially something like Thanksgiving where there's so much pressure on food and eating. Um, I think are things that I feel like are going to be triggering for me. So those are things that I'm being aware of as I come into the holidays coming up.
I love that. I mean, yeah, just even having to eat meals in front of people and it's just a holiday all about food. It can be quite tough. Linda.
Yeah, I was just going to say for me, I think the hardest part is the discrepancy between where I wish I was in my recovery and where I actually am. And the version of me that I imagine is going to just focus on the beauty of being with family and the celebration with food and, you know, the fact that the reality is that it's going to be very challenging for me to eat the food that's there, and it's not the version of me that I wish I was right now, and that's the hardest part for me.
That's definitely relatable. I
Yeah,
can
thanks for
connect.
putting it that way. That really speaks to how I feel too. It's like I'm gonna not be with anyone on Thanksgiving. I've chosen that. I was invited to my sister's, but I don't want to deal with my mom, so I'm not going. But I am going to be with my daughter and her family, new family for Christmas. So I I'm not where I want to be, and she also holds a lot of anger towards me because of that, because I'm not where she wants me to be. So that's really hard. So I like how you phrased that, and I appreciate what you said.
That's very cool. I also hear sticking to routine as much as possible really helps. And I love that. Even like taking some time before you go in those situations to think about maybe what routine would feel good. I know I have to do that when I go home a lot of times is I have a routine of like what I do in the morning and kind of like things that I do to make myself feel comfortable and safe. And so if I check in with that, because I can get so caught up with just like playing with my nephews and like being with my family that you kind of forget about yourself. So I love that one.
I think as we kind of talk about, being hard on ourselves, and we talked about this like internal spiral that we have a little bit ago. I'm curious how self-compassion can help with countering this all or nothing mindset that can often lead to that internal spiral.
Such a good one. I feel like I'm like the queen of all or nothing, and I'm still trying to figure it out. It's really hard for me. Um, and I think it's really easy, especially like to just think, well, I did one thing wrong, or I could have done better. Maybe like I made this one mistake or didn't follow through on this one thing for my treatment, so it's all bad, and I'm bad. And I think that that's probably how I really used to think. And I think reframing that uh kind of like reminded me that self-compassion is like the healing that doesn't happen in huge victories. It's not this big end goal. Like if I did all of this, then I have recovered, or then I'm like a great person. So for me, as reminding myself, it's the little moments when I could say, okay, Corey, that was really hard, but the next moment is yours. And like when I started thinking about that, everything shifted. And I like to think of it this way, like self-compassion makes space. And the other side of that for me is shame, and shame shuts me down. But it's
Yeah.
really hard. It's really, really hard to do that in those moments.
Yeah. So again, the question is, how can self-compassion help with countering the all or nothing mindset that can often lead to internal spirals? And I saw
Maybe
somebody
by
said that they aced that all or nothing mindset. I love that. I think we all can kind of relate to that.
Oh
I
yeah.
was just thinking maybe by telling myself, I'm doing the best I can right now. Or like my dietitian says, you're working really hard. Just give ourselves credit for what we are doing because, yeah, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But remembering that we are working really hard and we're doing the things and we're not perfect. And this is hard. This is hard. And everyone has their hard thing. Maybe they don't have an eating disorder, but the more we share and the more we're open about our struggles, I've learned everybody has their stuff. Nobody gets a free pass. We think they do, but because it all looks good from the outside, but everybody has their stuff that they have to deal with. So,
Yeah.
I
Thank
was,
you.
oh, sorry. Wait,
Well,
um, I didn't want to interrupt. Um, I think something that might support me and others is to like name a difficult moment with others that are trustworthy and you feel safe with, to like kind of um just have someone else help shoulder that, um and you have that support in the moment.
yeah.
I love that because it's actually really hard to remember that we don't have to carry it alone. So having someone there that can help like carry that weight like a little bit is so comforting. I know for me as well. I do that with some of my really close friends, and just being able to say it out loud and not necessarily need it to be fixed, just it just creates a little bit of space.
Yeah, shame like loves the darkness, right? So yeah.
I think something to remember too is that, we hear all the time recovery's not linear and that there is ups and downs, but we're always moving forward. And, I just read a book recently called Slip. And we just interviewed the author last week too, and she's incredible. Um, and she talks about how that middle place of recovery, that sometimes we feel like we need to be like either sick or completely recovered, and that there is no middle place. It's that all or nothing thinking. But a lot of times we live in that middle place. And the reason she titled her book Slip was because the actual meaning of the word is talking about moving forward. And she says that you can't slip unless you're actually moving forward. And so I think that that was really meaningful for me, and something that I hope that helps you guys too, is that, um, we can live in this middle place and we are doing our best and we are continuing to move forward. It just looks different for everybody.
I thought that I listened to the interview and you guys had it, and it's on your YouTube page now, I believe. That was I've listened to a few of her interviews, and I've read part of the book. I got really bogged down in all the like treatment stuff, and I just like it was kind of not good for me at that
Yeah.
point. So I decided just to listen to the lectures and get rid of the book. But I thought she did a really good job in that interview with really talking about the slips and the meaning and the progress that comes with that. So I did think it was a really good interview. So Jamie, go into their YouTube, Anna's YouTube page and listen to that because it was I thought it was a really good interview. So I appreciated it. And I felt better about it. I was kind of mad because I felt like she hadn't promoted the book properly, but I felt better after I listened to that interview because before that I was kind of pissed off at her.
Yeah, I will say that the beginning of the book can be very triggering. It also was really hard for me to get through the first part of the book. But once you get past that and she talks more about the recovery part of it, it's really, really good. So you might just want to skip the first half of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Lynn,
I think that's wise.
yeah. Linda, I see your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if this is off topic or not quite related, so if it is, just shut me down. But I'm wondering, like, for example, I was just diagnosed with prediabetes a couple of weeks ago, and my eating disorder wants to turn that into an all or nothing. I can never have sugar. I can never have XYZ. And I think I'm really struggling with discerning which voice is speaking. Is it the eating disorder voice? Is it the voice of actual medical wisdom? I'm just struggling with that part of it. And I wonder if anyone has any tips.
I can speak to that. I am diabetic and have also struggled with an eating disorder, and I can definitely relate to that all or nothing feeling. And it's really hard when you are trying to get rid of all the food rules, but then still having to apply food rules. And it really can make things a little blurred. Um, I would say that what I've been told to is focus on your recovery first, focus on what you need to do to be in a good mind space, and then you can start to kind of tackle that. And I would try to find a dietitian that works with eating disorders, but also understands diabetes, because then that way they can kind of help work you through both of those. But I know, like, for my dietitian, she's helping me work through, let's work on the recovery first, let's work on your eating disorder, and once we kind of feel like we're in a good space, then we can tackle all the other comorbidities. I have diabetes, I've got PCOS and different things like that. And so that's just my advice. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to add. And
That's
if
awesome.
not, it seems like we're at a good time to move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. I feel like I could keep
I
asking
know.
questions. It's really fun to connect with y'all, and I appreciate you guys for being vulnerable and sharing and speaking and just being here. It's really nice. We're gonna move into a gentle yoga practice now. So what I want to tell you before we start is you can do everything seated. You can sit on your couch, you can sit on the floor. I'm gonna sit in my office chair. So meet yourself like where you are with self-compassion and ask what would feel best to you. You can do this standing if you want as well, but I'm gonna take a seat. So with that said, I want to invite you all to find a comfortable seat wherever that is, or standing, because I told you you could do that too. And let your hands rest wherever they feel supported. Maybe that's on your legs, on the ground, at your heart center. And take a slow inhale through your nose and a soft, easy exhale. And let your breath settle. And I want to invite you to feel the ground beneath you. Maybe you start to notice the room around you. And if your eyes are open, maybe notice what you can see. You can look around and notice what colors are available to you. Maybe you can see textures. Take another breath in. Exhale slowly. This time, I want to invite you to notice something you can smell. For me, it is the incense I decided to burn that is now burning my eyes. Just notice one thing you can smell. And I'll take one more breath here all together. Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly. And I'm going to invite you to notice something you can feel, whether that's the air on your skin or the fabric on your clothes. Maybe it's the ground beneath your feet. I'm going to offer you guys some mantras as we go. You can take it or leave it. If they don't work for you, that's okay too. But if it does feel good, I want to invite you to quietly whisper to yourself, I am here and I can be gentle with myself. I want to invite you now. We're going to do some neck stretches. So you can let your right ear gently drop toward your right shoulder. And something I need to remind myself all the time is that you don't need to force it. Just invite some gentle compassion to meet yourself where you are. And take a deep breath here. And exhale, let something go. You can let an inhale bring you back to center. And exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Maybe take another breath in and another breath out. And maybe quietly whisper, it's okay to release a little. Can come back up to center. And now begin slow, easy half circles with your nose. So I like to think of or your head. I like to think of my nose as the thing that's pointing the direction I want to go. So you can look down, slowly over to your left and up and back around. Invite your breath to move along with you. And only move in a range that feels kind and supportive. And when you feel like you've done enough on that side, you can take your nose and your head and go around the other side, breathing as you go. And now I want to invite you to bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears, carrying the weight of the world. And with an exhale, let them drop. One more time. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. And this time, let something go with your exhale. Now you can roll your shoulders forward and maybe backward, maybe at the same time. Awesome. And come back to center. We're gonna do a little seated side body stretch. So you're gonna inhale with your right arm right overhead. And then you're gonna just gently lean to the left. You can bring your breath with you. And I want to invite you to take 2 to 3 soft breaths here. At your own pace. And a mantra that you might want to whisper to yourself is, you deserve your own gentleness. And an inhale, bring you back up, and you're going to bring your left arm with you this time and your right arm down and gently stretch over to the right. Take a few breaths here at your own pace, inviting your self-compassion as you move. And inhale, bring it back. And exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. And just check in with your body really quick. Maybe an inhale and an exhale. We're going to do some seated cat cows. I'm going to try to back up and show you a little more. So you can put your hands on your knees. And when you inhale, I want you to lift the heart and soften the belly and kind of curve forward. So you're reaching your heart forward with an inhale. And on an exhale, you're going to round your spine, kind of like a black Halloween cat. And I want you to move as slowly or as gently as you want. Inhale, bringing it forward. And then exhale, back. Maybe one more time on your own, listening to your breath and your body. And you might quietly whisper, nothing in me needs fixing or changing. Next, we're going to kind of do some barrel rolls. So it's kind of the same thing. You're going to breathe in and come forward. As you go backward, you can exhale. Maybe do a couple of these on this, going this way. And when we feel complete on one side, you can invite that same barrel roll, just go in the opposite direction, exhaling on the way back and inhaling on the way forward. Do a couple of these at your own pace. And when you're done, you can settle back at center. Maybe taking an inhale to check in with how you feel. And an exhale. And next, we're going to inhale tall with your arms all the way up. And we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to bring your right arm back and your left hand down. Maybe your left hand touches the outside of your right thigh. You can, I'm looking at you guys, but you can look to your right as well, or you can look forward. And take a breath here. And inhale. And exhale. Let the twist meet you where you are. No pushing, no forcing. And when you feel complete, you can let your inhale rise your arms right back up overhead. And then exhale, you're going to twist to the left. I think something that I have to remind myself a lot when you do something on a different side is that it's okay for each side to feel different. And your body is different on either side. So you can notice what feels different. You can notice what feels the same. And when you're ready, you can come back to center with an inhale. All right, we're going to do a seated forward fold. And I know you can't see my legs, but what I want to invite you to do, or if you're standing, you can do it standing. So stretch your legs out in front of you. And you're going to want kind of like your heels on the ground and your toes pointing towards your face. And we're just going to take a breath here. And then we're going to let our exhale lower us down as far as feels comfortable. And sometimes I like to back up just a little more. Like I don't want to push it too far. So breathe in here. Maybe breathe into your hamstrings. Notice where you can feel your breath. Continue to breathe at your own pace. You can even bring in some movement if you want, inhaling and coming up, and exhaling and coming back down. And I want to invite you to let gravity hold some of what you're carrying. Just like what we mentioned in our talk, phoning a friend, right? Having someone to just say what's going on. Let someone help carry the load. You can come back up with an inhale and an exhale. We're gonna come into a seated figure four. I'm gonna try to like bend my camera down a little bit, but so you can have your left leg planted on the ground and you're gonna bring your right knee up and cross it over so your right ankle is kind of on your left thigh. And you can stay right here and just breathe. Or you can lower if you want to get more of a stretch. I'm going to invite you just to play around. You can move if you want to. And while you're here, let's inhale and bring your arms up to the sky. And if it would feel good, you can bring that twist in. And you also don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything I say. And you can breathe here. One of my favorite things to remind myself is that you are allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be here. You're allowed to be you. You can release a twist if you want and put your right leg down. Next, I want to invite you just to take that same shape on the other side. So you can bring your left leg up and cross it over. Your left ankle kind of touches your right thigh. And right away, I am reminded that neither side of my body is symmetrical. And one side feels definitely different than the other, and that's okay. So you can breathe in here, feel the stretch in the left part of your leg. And if you want, you can lean forward. Or if you want to, you can inhale, bring your arms up high, and you can twist to the left. Wherever it is, I want to invite you guys to take 2 to 3 rounds of breath, even if it's just sitting here. And again, remind yourself you're allowed to take up space and you are whole and complete exactly as you are. And when you're ready, we'll come back to center. Maybe just like shake it out. This is one of my favorite nerdy things to do. Shaking out all the energy, anything you don't need. Awesome. I want to invite y'all to bring your hands to heart center, touching. And we're going to open them wide with an inhale. So we're going to go inhale, open your arms wide. And I bet you didn't guess this, but we're going to give ourselves a hug. Cross your arms and give yourself a hug if it feels okay. You can close your eyes if you want to. And notice what it feels like to give yourself love, to give yourself compassion. I want to invite you to bring in some movement so you can inhale, open your arms wide again. And on an exhale, I want to invite you to give yourself a hug again, but cross your other arm over. It's going to feel a little awkward. And take a breath in here and a breath out here. And maybe you whisper, I soften around my heart. Let's do one more just for fun. Inhale wide and exhale. One more hug. We're going to move into just a closing meditation. So I want to invite you to find whatever is a comfortable position for you. So you can maybe have hands, maybe one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. You're welcome to lay down. You're welcome to stand. So take a second to find something that would be comfortable and find some comfort and stillness and softness. You can have your eyes closed or you can keep them open. And I want to invite you to allow your body, your mind, your heart to be supported by the ground underneath you and at just how your own body supports itself. Take a slow breath in and a long, easing breath out. Feel the ground beneath you steadying your whole body. And notice how gravity is always there for you. Let yourself arrive exactly as you are. There's no pressure to feel a certain way or to breathe or be a certain way. Notice the inhale and notice the exhale. And the truth that you are here. Maybe sense where your body meets support. Let your shoulders soften and let your jaw loosen just a bit. And maybe whisper to yourself, I'm allowed to slow down and I'm allowed to be here. Now invite your mind toward the little moments that went well today or recently, the tiny wins you might have rushed past. Maybe it was a breath that softened something inside you, a moment where you chose kindness toward yourself, a decision that felt brave, like showing up today. And try not to analyze or evaluate. And honor that these were real and you created them. If you like, you can place a hand over your heart and imagine a soft warmth spreading through your chest. I can feel proud of myself. Now imagine sending yourself a wave of warmth. The same kindness you would offer someone you love in their quieter, more vulnerable moments. And breathe in care and breathe out anything your body is naturally ready to release. And let these words ripple through you. May I meet myself with patience. May I feel supported in the moments that shape me. And may I keep noticing the wins, no matter how small. Now take a final deep breath in and a full breath out. Let something go. And let these quiet reflections drift into your awareness one at a time, like gentle waves. Know that you can return here anytime. And when the challenges arise, let this compassion be your anchor. Let it remind you that you're doing your best, that you are worthy of kindness, that you are enough. And to close, I want to invite you to place one or both hands over your heart and whisper a gentle thank you to your body for carrying you, to your breath for steadying you, and to your spirit for staying with you through it all. And thank yourself for showing up. Take your time, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Or if you want to stay where you are, that's fine too. And to close, I think we'll just do maybe a five minutes of a check-in. Does that sound okay, Caitlin? If anyone wants to share anything, how you felt before, how you feel after, feel free to pop it in the chat or come off mute.
Um, it's so nice to be reminded that even like a gentle little practice can have really great ripple effects. So, and I really liked the mantra of I'm allowed to slow down.
I hear you. I think it can be so easy to be like, I have to go big, right? It's that all or nothing concept. And it's really amazing to be reminded that it's okay to move slow and be gentle. Thank you for sharing that. Mhm.
I also appreciate this slowing down moment. It's something that I know that was mentioned in the comments too. The affirmations that we always forget to use for ourselves. I think that it was something that, when I was in treatment, we did meditation like this all the time, and it was so helpful. But now, in the real world, I forget to do these things. I forget to slow down. I forget to
Mhm.
take deep breaths. I forget to tell myself all of these affirmations. So thank you. It
Mhm.
was really nice to be able to take that moment and do that.
You're so welcome. It's crazy. It actually calms me too, even just to say it out loud. So it's actually like I got the practice as well.
We have a question in the comments if you have this exact meditation somewhere to listen to again.
Yeah, so we recorded this and we're gonna share it out probably in the next couple days. So you'll have the YouTube of it and you could just skip through if that works. I can also try to record it someday and send it to you guys. But yeah. Anyone, any last shares? I'm sorry if you can hear my dog whining. All right. Well, we are going to, like I said, we're going to share this on YouTube and you'll get an email from me in the next couple days with a link to it. And I just want to thank you and I want to thank Caitlin for showing up. My dog's going to come through the door. Thank you for showing up and being here with us and for practicing self-compassion every day.
Before we head out, or other people can head out, I didn't know that it was going to be on YouTube, so I wouldn't have been so like forthright in showing my camera and stuff.
Your camera, you will not be. So that's the, yeah. So I want you to
Okay.
rest assured and feel safe that your videos and your chats will not be on YouTube. It's just going to be Caitlin and I's face. Does that feel okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
We can
Thank you.
definitely, and if you want, Liz, we can talk about it separately too. I want to make sure that
I'm
it feels comfortable.
I'm cool with not my face, basically. So
We
thank you.
got you. Yep. And we'll make sure like this part of it isn't even on there either. So this whole conversation won't be on it either. And the next session is, oh, where is it? Hold on, I have it. Schedule. It's going to be, right now I have it down as February 23rd.
Which
Oh,
is the start of Eating Disorder Awareness Week.
yes.
So
Well,
even better.
very good.
Well, thank you all for joining us. And I love all of the support in the chat too. Like the fact that you guys were supporting each other through this too is
Mhm.
amazing.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll send out, it will be on the website soon enough to be able to book, and I'm sure we'll send some announcements on it. But thank you all for joining, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.